pulled pork sandwich with homemade barbecue sauce. All right, so I'm making my rub first, which I'm using 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 6 cloves of garlic that I've minced, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of paprika. A rub is gonna give it that extra kick of flavor, but I'm also gonna add this really amazing tomato vinegar-based barbecue sauce. I'm gonna take my Boston butt here and rub it down with my special rub. Look at this beautiful piece of pork. Once it cooks slow and it can become shreddable, oh my goodness, I love a good pulled pork sandwich. So I decided to make the pulled pork into a sandwich because traditionally, during certain celebrations on the islands, the sea islands, Gullah people would roast whole hog in the ground. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna make it a little simpler by making a roasted pulled pork sandwich. Right, I'm gonna take my pork shoulder to my Dutch oven here. So this is about 4 pounds of Boston butt pork shoulder. It's gonna shrink, don't worry about it. It's still gonna be enough for plenty of sandwiches and leftovers. Add 1 can of beer, and that will help tenderize the pork. And you can use any beer that you like, whatever beer that you drink. I'm using a lager. Wanna use a 1/2 cup of orange juice. Wanna get some sweetness from the orange juice. The acidity also is gonna help break down the pork shoulder, so it's gonna be nice and tender, and it's gonna pull apart effortlessly. I have the oven set at 275. I'm gonna roast it low and slow for 5 hours. While that's roasting, I'm gonna get started on my barbecue sauce. I like a good juicy sandwich, so I'm making a barbecue sauce that's a little looser than your typical barbecue sauce. I'm gonna start out with my dry ingredients. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, tablespoon of black pepper, few pinches of paprika, give it that nice smoky flavor. Few pinches of cayenne, it's a little spicy, not too much. A tablespoon of ground ginger, you know, I love my ginger. Now I'm gonna add in my liquids. Normally, Carolina barbecue sauce is mustard based. A tablespoon of yellow mustard, this entire bottle of apple cider vinegar. Again, this is a loose barbecue sauce. It's gonna help make it a little liquidy. It's gonna give it that tanginess. So this is kind of like a combination of a Carolina style with a Memphis style barbecue. Memphis style barbecue is usually sweet, really thick, very smoky. 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 cans of tomato sauce. I'm gonna use 1/2 bottle of this ketchup, 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire, 1 can of that lager again, the juice of 1 lemon, a 1/2 cup of a neutral oil, vegetable or canola, 1.5 cups of sorghum. And if you can't find sorghum near you, you can always use molasses. But sorghum is not as deep and rich as molasses. It has a kind of like a caramel flavor. I can't wait till my mom and my grandma and Delvin try this. All right, head over to my stove. I'm gonna bring this to a boil. My sauce has come to a nice little rolling boil here. Let me taste it and make sure I don't need to add anything to it. Oh, that's great. It's sweet, it's tangy. It's gonna go really great with that pork shoulder. Now I'm gonna reduce this to a simmer, let this cook for about 2 hours. I know you smell it. Oh, pulled pork.
This sandwich is awesome, man.